Hello, I'm Brian Fox. Welcome to I Hate Rock Music. And as always, I love rock music. And another band that is one of the reasons why I love rock music. And I still love a lot of rock bands that are coming out. For me, it's been an onslaught the last 10 or 20 years. I kept up with pretty much everything that was out there from about 1965 until probably around 2020. And now I'm a little bit jaded. It takes a little bit more to surprise me. I find a lot of bands that are around today are kind of derivative or find their very strong influences from bands that I've already enjoyed from the past. And sometimes I just feel like I've heard it all. So it takes a lot more for a new rock band to impress me. But they're out there. I've done a couple of videos on La Hirano and October Beaver that are new bands that just completely floor me. And so they're out there. And another band that's kind of understated but I've just really grown to love, and I implore people to check them out. You might have missed them. Called Miracle Condition, and it's Matt Carson on guitar and vocals, and then Pat Sampson on drums, and Mark Shippey on guitar. And for you diehards out there, you know full well I'm a huge U.S. Maple fan, and so to have Pat Sampson and Mark Shippey from U.S. Maple in this band made it something I had to hear. And just like U.S. Maple, they came out of Chicago in 2006 and then put out three records, one in 2009, one in 2010, and then just 2018 they released a third album that was actually recorded in 2002. And first album, 2009, is called 68 Degrees, and then the second album is just self-titled, and then the third one is apparently self-titled too. I guess they call it Miracle Condition 3. But a really, really interesting band. Fairly nuanced and subtle, kind of reminiscent of a lot of things we've heard in so-called alt rock of the last 20 years. But like some of the best records, they really, really get under your skin. A really interesting combination of kind of beguiling, oblique alt rock with interesting arrangements, really nice vocals, and the guitar work is superlative. But intermixed with these shorter songs that are very evocative and exotic, if I can use all these great adjectives, they mix in with some of these caterwauling instrumentals with just amazing guitar work. Once again, really interesting arrangements, great dynamic, sonic, epic guitar work. So this combination works really well. And I think there's a lot of bands that kind of mine this territory out there, but I just find them to be one of the finest new bands over the last 10 or so years to my ears. And of course, I probably give them the benefit of the doubt because Pat Sampson and Mark Shippey are in it. And it was really pretty fascinating for me to hear Mark Shippey in this band playing a lot more conventional guitar because, of course, in U.S. Maple, it was this fragmented, deconstructed plinking and plunking and abstract chords and odd timings. And so to hear him in this situation, and the same goes with Pat Sampson. He used to be a pretty interesting character to watch when he was playing with U.S. Maple. Somewhat minimalist drum work and fairly erratic and weird like all the rest of U.S. Maple's work. But to hear him in this band, just being a conventional drummer, he really shows what he's made of. And same thing with Mark Shippey. To hear him in this context playing a lot more straightforward guitar really shows that he has quite a broad palette. As we suspected, you'd have to have a fair amount of chops to play the kind of implied music, deconstructed music, angular, jagged, that U.S. Maple played. And so I don't know if Miracle Condition still exists. Probably not. I would assume that third album taking, what is it, 6 years to get released is kind of the swan song. The first two albums are available on CD, and the third one you have to download from Bandcamp, but well worth it. And the third one is a lot more straightforward, a lot more of a regular rock band, not quite as evocative as the first two albums. None of the, not so much of the huge sonic epic guitar dirges. But interesting band. I'm glad they added that third album to their palette, and I'll put some links below. Check them out. You may or may not like them, but I find them to be an extremely fine band and a great part of the U.S. Maple lineage, along with Dead Rider. I'm Brian Fox. Thank you for watching I Hate Rock Music.